All right, welcome back, everybody. We'll kick off Wednesday's press conferences with Lewis University. Congratulations to Lewis on reaching the NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship semifinals. We'll start with a statement from head coach Dan Friend and then open up for questions to Julian Moses and Mitch Perinar.
Ultimately, we're excited to be here on the next day. I think after kind of being able to step back from last night and the guys playing a great match, it was really awesome. And, we're looking forward to the opportunity to prep. And we've already been doing film and had some sessions and looked over some stuff. And before I get too far, I just want to make sure I say thanks to Long Beach. Things have been great here. They've been really taking care of us well. And it's been a great experience, as well as the NCAA. And so you guys have done a great job. So.
All right. Thanks, Vinny.
Yeah, Vinny Lopes here from Off the Block. Julian and Mitch, in looking at Hawaii, you had an opportunity to look at some film. What stands out as the biggest challenge that they pose for you guys?
They just got solid pieces everywhere. They have a guy who can go off at any position, any given night. We feel like we match up pretty well with them. We're really excited for the opportunity to get to play them. And they have, 3 or 4 guys who made first team All-American. I mean, that says enough right there.
Yeah, I just think about their hitting percentages and their offense. I mean, they're hitting ridiculous clips. So I think just like thinking about that and just the guys that they got, I mean, it's in system almost all the time. They got great passing too. So it's going to be tough to stop, but that's something we're really good at with defense. So.
Adam Grossbard, Long Beach Press Telegram. Mitch, Julian, you got a taste of tournament experience last night. What was that environment like, and how do you feel that will help you moving forward?
It was awesome. I mean, the last couple of weeks have been the most fun all of us have had playing volleyball. The first set was shaky, just kind of getting used to the environment and everything. The gym is completely different from ours. But once we kind of buckled down and got everything together, we rolled back into our normal pace and just kind of got back to playing our volleyball, and that's what really made the difference in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things it's like we were both in the same situation with USC. So, like, none of us have been in that situation. We all wanted to be in that spot. So once we got done with that first set and we were kind of able to settle down, we were like, okay, we can play our volleyball and play at the level that we did in the last few games. So, and we did that. So it was nice to see.
When you play a team like Hawaii, obviously a really good offensive team, does that add any additional pressure for you guys back on the service line, knowing that you have to try to get them out of system?
None.
We do what we do well. I mean, we'll create our serving pressure and go at a couple different areas maybe, but it's the thing that we kind of preach all year. We do our system, we put the same pressure. We don't need to turn it up a notch, and it creates opportunities. So, as you see, it's pretty unison answer, which is nice. So.
Coach, I also wanted to ask you about last night. Obviously, the challenge situation for you, and whether call challenge, not call challenge. I just want to ask what is your mindset or philosophy in terms of calling challenges, knowing that you only have 3, and whether you win it or lose it, you don't get it back?
I trust my guys. So there was one that happened. I think it was game 3,
Mm-hmm.
and so Jake serving sub was in, and it came in, and Jake was like, "Hey, it was out," but and we looked at the score and we're like, "Hey, let's not use it. Let's wait on it." We waited on that. 4 plays later, there was an actual challenge that we needed to use. We used it. We get the point. Keep some momentum going our way. So I think it's one of those things where it's a trust with your athletes. So these guys played a high level of volleyball. They know the actual play that happened, what's going on, when to kind of use that and be aware of it. I think the thing that gets sticky sometimes is those challenges where coaches are using them as a pure timeout or something like that from that standpoint. Not saying that you've never looked at that in terms of that, but I think last night, strategically wise, that all came in play for both sides. Do you know what I mean? In terms of some calls. And it was good we kind of played it the way we did. And so I got to trust them with what they're seeing and feeling too. So.
Adam?
Dan, what stands out to you about Hawaii?
Well, outside of what the guys already mentioned, from the physicalityness and they're a seasoned team that's been playing a lot of games. I think, before you'd see the Hawaii teams leave kind of the main island and not play as clean, I think they've kind of surpassed that hurdle. You've seen them come across and they're still sustaining a high level volleyball, and this doesn't affect this group at all, where in the past so many people might hang some things on that, and I think that's much different now. I think this group doesn't matter where they're playing, and they're doing some nice things, and I think that's partly because of those seniors and those guys that have been through it, whether it's the Worsley brothers or the outsides for them or any of that stuff. In terms of that, I think all those pieces together put them in the position to play in the level of volleyball they are right now. So
you guys had the opportunity to go out to Hawaii last year and play them in the Outrigger Invitational. what can you take from that match preparing for tomorrow night?
I mean, having previous experience with the team is always really nice. We've seen the attackers before, and it goes back to the film element. I mean, we're going to go in prepared. No one really prepares like us, I feel like. We walk in, we know what's going to happen, and then we're just going to play our defense around that.
Yeah, it's just one thing to play against these teams before. It's like one thing to see it on film and then to actually be out there and go up against those attackers. So when you're out there and you see those attackers and you see what they're actually doing, it's nice to see. So it's good that we have this experience going into this match rather than just going in blind. So.
This is going to be Hawaii's first match in 12 days. You guys are coming off the match last night. Do you feel that maybe gives you a little bit of an advantage going into this with Hawaii not having played in so long?
I don't know if it's about to play so long, but the fact that we just played in the venue the other day, I think there's some credence to take away from that, the comfortability in the environment. At the same time, though, you think about it, they played Long Beach here, 2 weeks ago, and played 2 big 5-game matches. So I don't think it's going to – I think once they kind of get in 10, 15 points, I think they're going to be okay. Do you know what I mean? So I think maybe a little, but not as much as you might think in terms of that. It'd be different if they'd never played in the venue. Do you know what I mean in terms of that? But they just played here pretty recently. So.
Dan, I want to ask you, and obviously a little bit of a dad question here, but for you, this NCAA tournament, I know your family's coming out for it. What does that mean for you, knowing that your wife and your kid are going to be here to watch you coach on Thursday?
Well, the fact that I get to see my daughter sooner is awesome. Do you know what I mean? So, and the guys, she'll interact with the guys, and the guys have been around everything that's happened with her. So from when she was premature, and to see the warmth that they show my kid, and the involvement, just she's in practice running around, and those guys are great with her and really interact with her, and so it's been awesome. And so the fact that they're out here and support and be around will be really great. So,
Julian, Mitch, obviously a lot has been happening right now, so I want to ask you about it. What was your thoughts about the Battle of Winterfell, and what do you think about things moving forward?
Oh, man. I mean, it's going to come full circle. The Army of the Dead was coming. You saw the last episode where everyone was talking for a while, and you knew that something big was going to happen. And it just came down, and we talked about it. Me and Dan had a conversation at the airport before we got here. We were talking about, who's going to die. You got to think some people's story arcs came full circle. Brienne, she had the death. She had the yeah, you did Theon. But Brienne, she got knighted, so you're like, okay, she might be going down. And then all these things happen. Jorah comes in right at the beginning with the Dothraki. You think he's not going to make it back, he makes it back. So it was a wild battle. It's crazy. Arya got the kill. That double the drop was pretty great. You gotta give a clap to the Faceless Man for teaching her all those things those last seasons, and it was a good kill, and on to Cersei. So.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Good luck tomorrow.